All right, everybody. We're really late this time for our community question, and Dirk dropped the ball.
What? How did I drop the ball?
So the question was, what was your favorite
I did
gift
not drop
this
the ball.
I thought you did fine. This week's episode is brought to you by our buddies over at Mutiny Info Cafe, where they not only have a great selection of used books, records, and great coffee, but they also have a fantastic selection of new and used comic books, graphic novels, and more. Mutiny Information Cafe in Denver at the corner of Broadway and Ellsworth, and online at mutinyinfocafe.com.
On this week's episode, Sony Silver and Black begins filming in March. Legion Season 2 coming in April. The Nintendo Switch, now the fastest selling home console in U.S. history. Call of Duty World War II, Destiny 2 topped the U.S. sales for 2017. And Game of Thrones Season 8 officially a 2019 affair. In the CBBC, we cover 4 kids walk into a bank. Check it out.
Let's go.
Do it.
What's up?
What's up?
Good.
Oh, it's all Dirk's hair. What's up?
What's up?
Comically Gaming.
We're back.
We're back.
Back.
Episode 86.
86.
Oh.
So for everybody watching, this is just another week. For us, we've pre-recorded the last 2 shows, so it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while.
2018.
Yep.
New year.
Yep, absolutely. So let's kick it off. How's the start of your New Year's, everybody?
Good. Been busy. I was in Florida for the week after we filmed the show, and then the week I got back, my buddy at work had a baby a week early, and my boss had a bunch of Christmas parties, so I worked like 80 hours. Ooh. So I didn't have as much time as I would have liked to do a bunch of shit, but I still got a good amount of stuff done. I've been reading a lot of Marvel, a lot of the new, what do they call it now, Legacy stuff. Read the 2-in-1.
Yeah,
that's
good.
It is good, isn't it? Yeah.
Yep.
That's our next CBBC.
Yep.
1 and 2. Yeah, it's the Thing and Human Torch. Hopefully leading to the Fantastic Four. I don't know if it is or not, but it seems like it is. Really good. The Defenders, also really good.
How many issues are they in on that?
I think like 8.
Okay.
So not too many, but it's awesome.
Cool.
It's really,
I need to
really
go back
good.
to it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like one of my favorite Marvel books. I got current on Guardians of the Galaxy. It's no longer the all new. It's
right.
Just the Guardians of the Galaxy now.
Rocket Nova.
Did they get rid of a book and then change the title? Like, did they combine 2 books, or what did they do there?
No, I think they just dropped it. I don't know why.
But they dropped the main one and then made the all-new the main one? Or they dropped the all-new?
The main one was dropped before All New started.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know
The
that
business
was.
run. Yeah, and
Like,
then
so-
I think they just dropped it. I mean, I don't think it's...
Is the numbering from the all-new that you turned me on
No,
to, Dirk?
but-
Or is this...
Well,
is
it's
that one
in
done?
continue. It
Well, it's the
continues
legacy
with that,
number.
but it's the legacy numbering. So it goes
So
from
it's
like
from
issue
when-
number 10 to 187 or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know how with the legacy books they tried to give all the books their original numbering.
I didn't know that they were doing that for all of them. They are?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's confusing when you're I'm not sure if that was a good idea on their part or not. But
Yeah. It's confusing.
Yeah, read The Runaways, also really good. And then I started reading BKV's Runaways. I'm like 12 issues in on that.
Is it awesome?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Classic BKV.
No, it doesn't really feel as much like a BKV book as like Saga and Paper Girls and Y.
Yeah.
It's
That was earlier, huh?
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, it's earlier.
Yeah.
And it's weird seeing him writing a Marvel book. But it's still really good. And I also kind of wanted to, because like the new one, the new Runaways, they're older, so I kind of wanted to get their origin story and see how they started. And then I started watching the show too on Hulu, and that sucks.
It looks terrible.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I started watching that, and then I started reading the old book, and then I dropped the show, and now I'm just reading the old book. But it seems like they're trying to make the show off of the original run, BKV's run, but it's different in ways. But and then Jessica Jones, current on that.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, buddy. That's pretty good. Yep. Yep.
I think I'm behind like 2 now.
Oh man,
I think
you gotta catch up. The last 2 were crazy.
I mean, the last one that I read was, well, it's hard to even talk. We'll talk about it later, I guess. Sorry.
Certain person.
Yeah.
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 I almost wish it's almost like what they're making these books to try and kind of line up with the Netflix shows and whatnot, and I don't know. So
it didn't
Bendis
seem
said
like
he's-
that before.
Bendis said he's writing it until May. I heard. Crazy.
But
I wasn't expecting that.
yeah. But it's awesome. I got current on the all new Wolverine. That's really good. Despicable Deadpool. Also really awesome.
Sorry, all new Wolverine. Is that X-23 or is it?
Yes, Flora. Really good. And yeah, it's hard to talk about books without spoilers.
Yeah.
Deadpool though,
It's awesome.
awesome.
I love it.
He's bad again, which is,
Yep.
I mean, you learn that in the intro to the first book, so not really spoilers. But you know, in the last run, he was like trying to be an Avenger, and he's back to his old self.
How bad he is. That's interesting.
Yeah, but really good. It's awesome. Oh yeah, Deadpool hat.
Yeah.
But,
And ripped the PlayStation hat, right?
yeah, PlayStation hats. Yep,
Yeah,
a lot of comments on it.
Natural rip or
Yeah,
forced rip?
the fucking snaps broke on it the day I got home from Florida, so it's all Deadpool now. I was gonna alternate because they're still both in pretty good shape, but can't do it. So, yeah, I think that's all I read. And I read 4 Kids Walk Into a Bank. This week's CBBC.
You read the first one or all of them?
All of them. So we're supposed
Get
to,
to
right?
that.
So, and then I beat 2 games. I finally beat Xenoblade today.
Nice.
Yeah.
You get an award for that.
Yeah.
Oh, no shit.
It's my game save said 125 hours, but I swear there was one time where it like jumped 20 hours. So I feel like it was more like 105 hours. Still really long, but awesome the whole time. I mean, I'm sad that it's over, but I got so many other games I need to play. I'm kind of glad it's over.
What's your score?
9.
9.
I want to say 8.5, but we don't do 0.5.
No, we don't.
So,
Oh, we just-
9.
cigarettes.
Or 8.
9
maybe.
cigarettes.
Somewhere between an 8 and a 9.
8 cigarettes and a butt.
but yeah, it was awesome. And then game I just heard about from I didn't see it on any like the major game of the year lists, but like what's Kotaku or
Kotaku.
whatever
Kotaku.
they do their staffs game of the years, like each person and their staff, and on a couple of the lists was that Doki Doki Literature Club,
Yep.
which I hadn't heard of until I saw that, and I got that on through Steam because it's not on PlayStation, and that was fucking awesome. It was really good.
That's what I keep hearing. I got it on Steam like 3
Doki.
weeks ago. Yeah, and have not had a chance yet to check it out.
Yeah, and I'm sure any computer could run it on Earth because it's a visual novel, so it's it's like
Awesome.
but
And it's free.
and it's free, yeah. It's about 5 hours. It's free and it's totally awesome. I can't even. What it does is crazy. It's hard to. If you look at it, the description in Steam is there's lots of cute girls in the literature club. See if you can find one for you or something like that. But don't let that. But play it. So, it's awesome. And yeah, I think that's. Oh, I watched all of The Punisher.
Yeah.
Chef's
Nice.
the key.
So we all, when Jeff said that was number one on his list, we all like freaked out. Like, where do you agree? Are you even close to that? What do you?
I would put it. I'd put it on my list for sure. What did I'd put it like probably at like number 5. Like,
Okay.
you know, Legion and Game of Thrones and Preacher. I would still definitely put ahead of it. I can't remember my list now. But above Walking Dead and any other Netflix show that
Better
came
than
out.
Jessica
So I was
Jones?
gonna say, what about like Jessica Jones? Like, where do you?
That's tough.
We always
Yeah.
said that Jessica was the best one.
They're you know, they're so good in different ways, and they're totally
Okay.
very different
Totally different,
shows.
yeah.
I'd say they're equally as good, but each in their own way.
Yeah.
So it's hard to say. You know, it depends what you're in the mood for. The Punisher or Crazy Mind shit. I don't know, whatever. But it's Dark. I'm on like episode 10 of Dark.
Yeah, that's the last one. That's where we're at too.
Oh, is it the last one?
10's the last one. Yeah.
Shit. Yeah, it's alright.
To me, I feel like Dark is. It seems like I was saying to Amy, and she totally disagreed with me. Is that it's like to my mind, I see it exactly the same as I saw Westworld going into the last episode of Westworld. I'm like, oh, could be great. This could be garbage, or like some level in between, depending on how they stick the landing.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, true.
the premise is really cool. It's a
Yeah.
little too complicated for its own good, in my mind.
Yeah, it is.
But if they wrap the story up well, then it could be mind blowing good. Like, I feel like
Yeah.
we'll have to get back after the 10th episode.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
So, I think that's about all I did.
All right,
That's it.
Dirk.
Hey.
Sound like you're Brian.
Hey. So, let's see. I read a buttload of comics. Let's see. I'm just going to rattle off a few and then circle back and hit the ones that I really liked. 4 Kids, obviously. Mighty Thor 701, 702. Paradiso, number 1. Star Wars 40 and started on 41.
Nice. I haven't even started those yet.
Guardians of the Galaxy 149, 150. Black Bolt 9, which was great. Saga Volume 8 just came out. I think it collects the issues 42 through 40-something.
Yep,
Does that sound right?
right around there.
Yeah. And then Jessica Jones 15, Thanos 14, Mr. Miracle 1 through 5. But the most shocking and surprising one that I read is Dastardly and Muttley 1 through 3.
We talked about that long
I
time
love
ago.
I love it. Yes, it's amazing.
Nice.
First of all, okay, it's Warren Ellis who
Amazing.
did. It's amazing.
All right.
Warren Ellis, who did what is it? The anime series we just watched.
Castlevania.
Castlevania, yeah. So yeah, it's an imprint under DC where they cover all Hanna-Barbera characters, right? They have a Flintstones series. They just came out with the Jetsons one, and they're doing a Snagglepuss one now. But they're all like very bizarro, like very modern takes on like adult content takes on these characters. So Dastardly and Muttley is it shows how they become that. They're actually humans that they start off. I'm not going to get too much into it in case somebody wants to read it, but it's hilarious. It's actually really, really good and well written. Besides the comic books, I found a PDF copy online of to research me and Jeff's characters for Nate's possible game. Drow of the Underdark from AD&D 2nd edition.
The game isn't possible. It's the characters that are possible. The game's happening for sure.
Yes. And I wanted to make sure that this backstory is foolproof when we present it to you, that you don't have any doubts that this can be done.
So while you're on the topic, I just want to just spit it out there. Any of our D&D fans that watch this show, would I be nuts to let these two guys play Drow together in my first ever game that I DM and third game that I've ever played D&D ever?
When you put it that way, it sounds bad, but
it does sound bad. It's not apocalyptic. Trust us.
What I said I'd see the backstory and see if you can, like you said, make it full.
And also, to capitalize on that, neither of us are going to be evil, which is a huge, huge difference.
Big difference.
You know, big difference if you're playing evil Drow, in my opinion. But
huge.
And then I started watching this weird anime on Amazon Prime called Made in Abyss.
Okay.
Wasn't that Dirk was talking about that. Never mind.
Yeah, I was talking to Captain Emo about it. It's really, I don't even know. I just watched the first episode, but I strangely got sucked into it. It's very cutesy anime, which I don't normally go for, but it's about this big hole that a city develops around, and these people have never gotten to the bottom of this huge chasm, and so they send people down to explore it and stuff, and there's all these creatures and weird things, and a robot kid shows up, and nobody knows where he's from, so that's the intro to it.
We didn't put it on our news. You hear about how Amazon's anime deal got sucked into regular Amazon Prime? So apparently this week, if you have regular Amazon Prime, there's all kinds of new awesome anime available to you that was like a side extra cost before.
Really?
Yeah. And it's actually that story that got me to go to it. So when I read the article, I was like, oh, so there's going to be a bunch of anime if you have a Prime account available, because they were side charging on top of the Prime account.
Right. I tell you what though, this is totally smart. Every single week it seems like we read a different news story about something awesome coming to Amazon Prime, right?
Yeah.
Like it's just a matter of time before we're all paying for that, just like we do for Netflix.
Yeah, I already got it.
I got it. So
cool.
It was refreshing. I was anxious. I was like, because there's a lot of stuff that they still charge for single episodes to rent, you know, and they mix it in.
Right.
That's the problem I have with it. Yeah.
I agree.
I don't like that it's mixed content where I have to pay for some and not for others, and they try to get you on that. But anyway, in that article they mentioned Made in Abyss. It's critically acclaimed or whatever, so I went to it to check it out, and I totally dug the first episode, so I'll stay on it. But
I'll have to watch that.
Yeah, that's it. I think that's it, and I'll check out Doki Doki Literature Club for sure.
All right.
Yeah.
Nice.
Jeff.
Oh man, where do I begin? So I ended up during the holiday. I watched Jessica Jones on Netflix.
Sure.
Getting super psyched for
season
2, March 8th.
Right.
Like Corey, it's hard to say which one's better because they're completely different in so many ways. But yeah, I really enjoy Jessica Jones. Love the character.
Tennant, man. David Tennant is amazing.
Love Luke Cage. Just the whole thing was great.
You got to start Daredevil now.
I do.
I like the Daredevil ones. They're next after Jessica Jones for me.
Yeah.
So then I read Four Kids Walk Into a Bank. Got Dirk to play some Gran Turismo, and he hated it.
It was funny. He went from jumping on, totally excited, giving us pointers about how to take corners.
Yeah,
to,
and then the race started.
Oh my God, this is the worst experience I've ever had in my life.
Yes.
Within like 30 seconds.
And also, to addendum to that, when I went back and played the single-person challenges, I went back to loving it.
Oh, yeah?
Huh.
Yeah.
You just need to practice for a while. Then I've been playing that game for 20 years, right?
Yeah,
I was gonna
just
say
need to
because
practice.
he went from loving it to hating like half a lap on a short track,
I know.
which is crazy.
It's funny. Like, to be honest, while we're on the topic, when I play online, not with you guys, when I just get on with the general public and play the sport races,
Yeah.
like, I am absolutely every race racing to not be in last place. Like it's
Right.
there's no attempt for me to be in first place, but it's still fun to me to do that. Like even if I'm doing terrible, I'm looking for the cars in front of me to crash on a curve or something, so that I can catch back up. Like you get none of that, Dirk. Like once
I was way beyond that. I was having issues just moving where I was at. I mean, that's.
So, but you
Nice
can in the
shirt,
single
Corey.
player, but something about
I didn't
online?
even. Yeah, in the single player, but I haven't gotten too far yet. I haven't gotten to races where the curves. I think it's just going to be a practice thing.
Sure.
I'll
It's a
get it,
practice
you
thing.
know,
All right.
because those curves
It's
are so
practice.
freaking hard. The ones that
Oh.
we play. I mean,
I
they
know.
like went in the completely opposite direction, and I'm even trying to go like 30 to hit that curve.
It
Yeah, I
takes
still
practice because you got to go at least some of them you're going 15,
Yeah.
20 miles an hour to get around it, and it's just practice
Yeah.
Yeah,
and learning the game. But Corey's got an awesome shirt on I just saw, and
set.
it's Ray.
Nice. That is an awesome shirt.
Yeah. What else I do? Fuck, I don't remember.
Ice
Shit,
fishing.
I didn't.
Played some
Oh.
Destiny.
I played some Destiny, got my light over 300. Didn't take that long, Dirk. And,
I have to play first.
That's true.
and I went ice fishing for the first time ever today. It was awesome.
Sweet.
Caught a couple
Ever?
perch.
Not just this year, but ever?
Ever, yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize
Never been,
that.
never been ice fishing, so it was fun. It was
I
good
thought
times.
everybody who lives in the state of Minnesota had ice fished.
Not everybody. Well, I'm a transplant. I'm from Las Vegas, so we don't
Okay.
do that crazy stuff. But
Gotcha.
no, it's a perfect day. It warmed up to almost 30 degrees today, so it
Wow.
was
Look it
downright
up.
balmy. You could have wore shorts.
I put the Weather Channel on my desk, and every morning look at how the whole news story is about how terrible it is in Minnesota, and I just smile and laugh and drink my iced coffee. And
It's going to be 70 here tomorrow.
I watched that. I watched all the first 8-9 episodes of the show The Orville that Seth MacFarlane.
yeah, it's the
MacFarlane
joke,
did?
right?
Colin, yeah.
Yeah,
It's a parody.
it's actually pretty funny because
Is
they
it?
sit there and it's sort of Star Trek-ish, but they sort of do it like a real how it would really be with a lot of callbacks to like 80 references, a lot of references calling
nice.
back to 21st century. Kind of reminded me of Ready Player One in a way,
Yeah.
and it was a pretty decent show. It was a pretty decent show, and the chick they got to play his number one, she's pretty hot. Corey.
Nice.
I'm not going to spoil it, though. You got to watch it because it's got some interesting twists that kind of make some interesting drama, but it's really good.
Cool.
It's really good. Just whenever you get a chance, watch it. And that's it, yeah.
So, my weeks were, read a few more Saga. I'm through chapter 20 now at this point. I did buy the new one. There's still a sale. I don't know if the sale will still be going on when this publishes, but I just bought the 8th collection on the sale on Comixology as well. Cuphead. So for Christmas, we got an Xbox here in the house, and the very first day we got Cuphead, and holy crap, Cuphead is awesome.
It is.
It's unbelievable how awesome it is. Just seeing all the pictures and everything of Cuphead and videos and whatnot of it makes you kind of impressed at the art style, impressed at how kind of difficult and old school the gameplay is. But man, once you play it, like I was saying this to Corey the other night, Shovel Knight and Cuphead are today's versions of that type of game, of your side-scrolling shooter, jumper, platformer combination action game. And what's so awesome about those games is that they're not just like a love letter to those old games. These are new games in that style that are awesome and better, the best ones ever. Like just the progression of it, and just love him to death. Like
3, 2, 1.
I only had a couple levels of Cuphead to get through so far, but absolutely hooked. So awesome.
Love it.
Destiny 2.
I got it. I wasn't too into it. It's hard.
Hard. Definitely, like when I play it, I sit down with the mindset of I'm gonna beat one level. And sometimes that takes 10 minutes, and sometimes that takes 2 hours. It seems like.
That's not fun to me.
You just don't have enough skills.
Oh.
Anyways, Destiny 2 finally got close to raid level light, and so decided to get the mashers back together and take on this raid. So I'm doing all my weekly stuff again that I haven't done in a couple months. So I get why Corey's initial complaints. There's not a lot to do. If I can do, I'm actually happy about it. If the whole week takes me 2.5 hours, that's perfect. That's as much as I want to play each week. But yeah, the people that used to play 50 hours a week or whatever, there's nothing there for them. So I get it, but it's perfect for me. I love it. I like how it is now, to be honest. GT Sport, we talked about that. Neverwinter. Right, so finally started playing some Neverwinter with you guys, and definitely dig it. I'm shockingly good for free so far.
Yeah.
I'm wondering when the money hooks will come in and what's up with that.
Oh, they're already there.
Well,
it's VIP levels. It's VIP levels, and to unlock other parts of your character or to train faster.
But as of yet, I don't feel that at all. I just feel like I'm having fun playing an RPG with my buds. So and like Dirk had said, it's the D&D stuff is so awesome. It's everything's there, right? It's cool. So and then Steep played a good amount of Steep one day when the in-laws were here during because that's something that I can have on the TV even when the littlest kid walks by or whatever. And I knocked out a lot of that game. Steep is really fun. Bought Odin Sphere. Lufenheiser? I forget but it's Odin Sphere.
What?
Played that a little bit.
Cougar?
Odin Sphere. Really weird, really good. I played probably an hour of it, and it is not what I thought it was. That's for sure. The art style's really cool. It's made by the guys who make Dragon's Crown that I'm always gushing about on here. Really digging it. But the game that I'm playing the most of is Uncharted 4. That's the one that I'm focused on right now, trying to get through it. Totally dig it. Like, I don't think it's spoilery to say that Nathan Drake, the fact that the dude is a mass murderer who then turns around and like cracks jokes and has a nice loving relationship with his wife is weird. And the fact that he's a friggin' monkey is weird. Like the scaling stuff is ridiculous. When you watch him jumping around on the side of a sheer building, it's just stupid. But everything else is great. It's so much fun just to run through the action scenes of it nowadays. They've refined it to where it's like when I'm doing the puzzly stuff, I'm not like, geez, I want to get back to the action or the next story thing. It's all just kind of seamless between story, action, and then puzzles. And totally digging it. Yep. I deleted Pocket Camp from my phone.
Thank God, dude. Just took you enough. That was not a good call.
I guess
at all.
I just don't like Animal Crossing. Like I've tried, just like we talk about Monster Hunter. I've tried Animal Crossing like 5 times now, and I guess it's just not my thing. So some show and tell for Christmas. Dear old mom and dad got me this guy.
Bravo. Bravo.
Got me this guy.
DMG.
And then my loving wife.
Oh, Horde of the Dragon Queen. Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
Yeah. And they got what they got in there? Any new sub classes?
No, this is strictly an adventure.
Okay.
Right? There's nothing.
Okay.
Yeah, there's nothing but an adventure in there. But totally. So I'm just devouring this stuff. I switch back and forth between all the different books, and like one will reference the other, so I'll put it down and I'll go over to that one, and then I'm reading through these adventures and then going back and thinking, okay, how am I going to go through this part? And then I bust out the monster manual and read all about
How
the
does your
monsters.
brain handle that?
But
I love
isn't this coming too? Aren't
No.
you getting this?
Not yet. Not currently.
Oh, we might know something you don't.
Someday, not currently. But I just it's so awesome. I can't say how awesome it is.
I know.
If
It's the best.
anybody
It's
else
the
out
absolute
there
best.
who's in my shoes where you thought your whole life that it would be awesome, it's awesomer than you think it is. It's so much fun. Even if I didn't play, just reading these books and understanding the structure of the game, and then just all the... I love how everything is set up so that you can play everything straight out of the book, straight by the rules, or you could design your whole own
Homebrew
game based on these rules, and it's just so cool. I'm
The
just
best thing
really
to do
digging it.
too, Nate, I think, is if you mix your homebrew, you weave it into the pre-gen content to make it where you can't even tell the difference.
Yeah. So just loving the crap out of that. Got
He's getting some exercise tonight.
I know.
Sorry for the audio listeners. Everybody else got Pandemic. I've been hearing about this board game since as long as I've gotten into board games, and finally got this guy, and it's great. We played it over the holidays with some family members as well. It's going to take over Ticket to Ride as my new go-to for people who aren't into nerdy board games, to kind of break them in a little bit. Totally cooperative, so nobody's fighting anybody else.
You gonna get Fallout?
Probably not. I got too many other games on my list.
Fallout and Tomb of Annihilation has a board game, I think.
Oh yeah, they do. It's pimp, but it's $150.
Yeah.
We played a lot of Ticket to Ride at Mom and Dad's.
This will be the new Ticket to Ride once we get together. Yep. And then finally, my last thing is me and my youngest son have started anime night, where every night we're going to watch one anime. So we're taking 3 different animes, and we watch one episode a night and then move to the next one the next night. So we've watched episode 1 of Ajin, of Attack on Titan, and of Castlevania at this point.
Nice.
So we're going to go back to Ajin for the next one, and me and him are both really digging it.
So
I
good,
plan
man.
on, like, Castlevania is only 4 episodes, right? So I'm going to mix in a different one after that. I'm thinking One Punch Man, from what I hear from everybody, will be the one that gets mixed in then. But
Yeah, that's what I'll start next.
yeah, my whole life have not been into anime. Just never knew anybody who could point me in the right direction, and now I'm just saying, screw it. I'm going to go out there and try some different stuff and knock it out. So having fun with that too.
Ajin's good.
Yep. So that's the week.
Woohoo!
Yep. News of the week.
Yep.
Time for your news of the week.
News of the week.
Number 5. Silver and Black begins filming in March. Silver Sable and Black Cat are cool, so I hope it's good. I like both of them, for sure.
So just for context, Sony feature film, right? Sony went out after they loaned Spidey to the MCU, and basically they're just making what was the last one called? What was the last
Homecoming.
Homecoming, yeah. And then Homecoming 2, and then Venom, and then this was the next one, right?
Yeah. And then they mentioned that Norman Osborn might be in this one, which is interesting.
I wish the movies would not use Osborns for a long time.
I know.
There's just been too many.
Well, overkill. Yeah.
Spider-Man has way too many cool characters to focus on.
Right.
Them.
Totally. Where's Craven?
Right.
Craven in the movie.
Did you guys read the Double Date Batman? Oh, never mind.
I haven't gotten to it yet. No.
It's awesome. Number 4. Legion Season 2 coming April.
I heard some stuff.
Yeah, I
I
heard
should
some
see
stuff
it.
too.
I didn't hear any stuff. Did you guys hear
I heard some
spoilery
stuff.
stuff? What kind of stuff?
I mean, it's not really.
it's-
It's like headlines.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
Right.
it's I didn't even have to click on any articles, but it's kind of spoilers.
Related to
Well, don't
Cassidy.
go there then.
Yes.
Because I have not heard them. Clearly, Legion, one of our favorite shows from 2017.
Yeah.
Hoping, this could be the swan song also. Like, I feel like they could either try and make this as kind of mainline as possible and keep it alive, or they could just say, you know what, fuck it, let's get as crazy as possible, and this will probably be the last year. Let's go out with the bang. You know what I mean? That's what I'm hoping for. So we'll
Okay,
see.
I think I can say this without it being spoilery. According to Noah Hawley, the creator, he said that in season 1, it was about how crazy he was and the rest of the world was sane. Season 2 is going to be the opposite, where he's going to be the sane one with the world around him being nuts. So
That's
I don't
the
know
coolest
what
thing I've heard in a long time.
I don't
Especially
know.
for that show. If they do
Yeah.
it right.
Yeah, I don't know what he's planning, but he's got aces up his sleeve, I'm sure.
Nice. Yeah, can't wait.
Yeah.
Number 3. Switch is now the fastest selling home console in U.S. history and has sold more than Wii U's lifetime sales in Japan.
So think about that. That's crazy, right? That's
That is crazy.
You couldn't get a Wii for a couple of years after they launched that thing. And think
true.
of like the PS2, like the first year that came out, how crazy that was. That the Switch is doing better is craziness.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of time before I get it, I'm telling you. Because the wife's on board. If the wife's on board, it's pretty much clear. We're ready to do this. It's just a matter of time.
Good. I love it. I've been playing that more than my PS4 since I got it. Well,
So
partially because
Joy-Cons.
Xenoblade's so fucking long.
So stylish Joy-Cons.
Yeah,
you can put in there.
I'm done like bitching about how backwards the online stuff is. Like, if we all had them, we'd just talk in Discord and play Mario Kart anyway.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
there's ways to work around it, so who cares?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's crazy because I mean it's all still thanks to like 3 games.
Yeah.
Like,
I know.
I mean, people aren't buying it for Xenoblade. Like, it's Mario, and then basically Mario, and then everybody who didn't have a Wii U wants to play the games that came out on that.
Right.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But
Congratulations, Nintendo. Way to come back. I doubted
nice.
them, for sure.
Absolutely.
This is not what I foresaw before when they announced the
talked
Switch.
I still
talked
kick
a lot of
myself
shit, yeah.
because I bought that Wii U right before the Switch was launched, and
Right.
if I had known, I would have saved my money. But at the time, I was really on the fence about the Switch after everything happened, and I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
yeah,
But
I
they did
almost bought a Wii U as well because I just wanted to play Zelda.
That's
But,
why I bought it. Yep.
But I was like, well, I haven't had a Nintendo console like ever besides Game Boys, and
I love my Wii U, I gotta say.
yeah. So I wanted to play all the new
complaints.
games.
Yeah.
But, number 2, top U.S. sales for 2017 go to Call of Duty, World War II, and Destiny 2.
You know what else is in the top 5?
What?
Battlefront 2.
Oh yeah.
So
That's
all the bitching that everybody did, all the fuss that was made, every story that you read about how the world was upset at like multiplayers with the crates, all of the best games, not best games, top selling games of the year included that stuff. People don't care. Or the masses that are buying this just don't pay attention to the new stuff. They're going to get Call of Duty no matter what, and they're not sitting there listening to podcasts about video games, during the week.
Well,
The other
Destiny
thing is,
all cosmetic.
the other thing is with Battlefront, they didn't have that much time to be included in 2017, so they cracked the top 5 in that small window.
Yeah, all those games. Call of Duty comes out.
That's
like
true.
A month
They all
before the
came
end of the
towards
year,
Yeah,
and
but the minute they'd launch a title for a new Call of Duty game, half those kids salivate like Pavlov's dog for Call of Duty.
God,
Yeah.
Look at Lumberjack,
My-
for God's sakes.
I don't even think it's a bad thing. I'm just saying that I think that all the news stories that we talk about all the time, and we do it too, even the small guys, are
Yeah.
overblown. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? When it comes down to it, people love these games. Then why would they change the way they make them when
Yeah.
they're the best-selling games of the year in, year
Shout out to Lumberjack.
Number one.
Predictable listeners.
And we kind of already knew this. I guess Game of Thrones is officially 2019 coming up. I mean, that's what we had heard, though, spring of 2019.
Yeah,
right?
but this was
Bigger news is the second half
HBO
of the...
came out and announced it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's never
It's,
happened.
it's official.
Right.
But also, they say movie-length episodes.
Yes.
So HBO didn't
That is
say that.
incredible.
I don't know if
Right.
you guys read the article.
There's speculation. Yeah, that's
Right,
not
so-
official.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
The article that got posted is from a website called The Gist, which I looked professional, but I had never heard of before. And according to them, sound designer Paula Fairfield shared at the first annual Game of Thrones convention that the production team is considering making the six final Game of Thrones episodes movie length. And this is the sound designer is the one who announces this news, like not the producer of it or anything, you know. So
Everybody chill.
Yeah, either like she messed up and leaked something, or she's full of shit, and this will.
Yeah.
Not
Or,
Tell you
Yeah.
what, though.
or they're going to be looking for a new sound designer.
Yeah, right. That would blow the format wide open. 'Cause nobody's really done that.
No.
You know, that's
Well,
great.
it's like hour and a half, 2 hours, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be.
That's
fucking
crazy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gosh, that'd be so awesome to get a
Because they
movie
could
a week
stretch
for
it.
6
Yeah,
weeks.
they could
Yeah.
stretch the episode and include, the way they cap off an episode. It could just be done a lot better, I think.
You know how much money that would be to do 7 movie-length TV shows?
Yeah. Oh, they're already an hour.
I mean, because they saved all their money. Dirk, stop talking. They saved all their money for that ending of episode 7 in season 7. And if you haven't watched it, I'm not going to spoil it, but I mean, that last final, half hour of the battles and the wall.
All right,
And-
knock it off.
Yep.
Knock it off.
It
I don't know
was,
what
you
you're
know,
talking about.
So,
Yeah. So, yeah. That's it. News of the week.
news of the week. All right, everybody. We're really late this time for our community question. And Dirk dropped the ball.
What? How did I drop the ball?
So the question was, what was your favorite
I did
gift
not drop
this
the ball.
I thought you did fine.
year? Yeah. So our question was, what was your favorite gift this year? Twitter, Bone at Bone B2 the Bones. He Preston. He was on our show back in the summertime. He said he got a newer record player with Eagles Live, Rock On, and Super Champ albums. And he said that he was going to get Dirk an album for Imagine Dragons.
Oh, good. Can't wait.
Sorry, Preston. We're making fun of Dirk. not
Sorry,
you.
Preston.
So yeah,
Because I
way to
love
go
Imagine Dragons.
with the vinyl collection. That's
Vinyl,
how
yeah.
you do it. Hit up the thrift stores and
Got a record
find
player
it.
right there.
The one
That's
thing,
awesome.
yeah, I got one sitting over here too. If there's one bit of advice I can give you though, is when you're at the thrift store, look at it. If it's freaking tore up, just leave it, no matter how bad you want it, because otherwise you'll have 100 albums in bad condition like this guy did.
Yeah.
You'll have to go through and sort them out.
Next week, we're going to have a special guest. The guys from Digital and Dice, which is a really good podcast. I recommend y'all listen to it. It's pretty good. Those guys are pretty funny. Question is to what do you attribute the explosion of success of tabletop RPGs in the last few years? That's a mouthful, but that's our question. So
Nice.
tweet us, Facebook us,
Yep.
email us, because Nate needs email. He loves
Yep.
it.
We'll throw it up there. We'll throw it up there and all that. So here we go. This is the YouTube community corner, let's call it. The
Yeah.
every
It blew up.
Yeah, we went up. What are we at? 850 855 or something like that.
Yeah,
856
crazy.
subscribers. Really appreciate it. I think we were
awesome.
sitting around 800 before the new year and whatnot. So really went crazy. Really appreciate it. Everybody who has YouTube channels and shares their subscriptions, we go through, give everybody a quick shout out here. So definitely, if you like our show, if you are listening to the audio version, please go over to youtube.com/GCandC and go down in the description. All these links to everybody's channels will be down there. Just click sub to these people because they're awesome. They supported us, and we want to give them thanks by sending your guys' support back to them.
Yeah.
I just want to start. The first one I had is kind of a little odd one. Most of these, we make sure that they go around the same kind of content that we do. So it's either D&D, it's comics, or it's video games type channels. This first one, this guy posts like nothing but pictures of like homebrew monster trucks flying through mud. Like that's what it is over and over again. And he gave us a sub, and I went and checked out his channel, and it was awesome. I haven't watched stuff like that in a long time. It was good fun. So anyway, Steven Tattersall is his name and his channel there. Also, check out Dragon Razor 1988, E-Plays, and Suspicious Ducks.
Oh, better be careful around those ducks. And we also got a Maritime Gamer, Rick92647, Official Gaming FSC, YGB Hawk, and Player Minecraft.
Yeah.
Everybody loves it.
And we got Dango Sango 33, Freakon's Game Rations, The Shaw Plays, and Mr. Tarask.
I think it's Tarask. Yeah, I think that's it.
That's good. Yeah.
Next up, we have Trillist_Gamer3, Ski Bros.
I live in Colorado and go skiing a lot. I know about Ski Bros.
CT Vids, Soft Baby Angel, and Cheeseburger Eater.
All right, and every week we do a contest for Name of the Week where we pick out a name based on nothing other than the name. This doesn't have to do with content, how much we like the channels, anything like that. What do you guys got for Game of the Week?
Oh,
week?
man. That's tough.
I'm going with Rick92647.
Wow.
Oh.
Interesting.
I like Suspicious Ducks.
That's what I was going to say. Suspicious Ducks was my pick as well.
Cheeseburger Eater.
Yeah, I almost went with that one. That was my second.
So honorable mention to the rest of y'all, but Suspicious Ducks. You're the Name of the Week. Put it on the trophy.
Huge.
Love
Huge.
All right.
Massive win.
So,
Huge.
Thanks everybody for watching. We're about to go full spoilers. Every week we have a full spoilers section at the end of the show. This week is part of the Comic Book Club. We're going to be doing 4 Kids Walk into a Bank. Really great read that Dirk suggested to us. If you haven't read it, maybe you're taking off. Come back after you read it. Can't recommend it enough. Really a great read. So, everybody else, if you're checking off, thank you for watching. This has been Comically Gaming, episode 86. Please check us out online. You can find us at patreon.com/GCandC. That's where we moved our blog to, so everything will be on there on a weekly basis, and you can support us there as well.
Yeah, we should really reiterate that we combined both those websites. So the old website at WordPress.com is no more. There's still stuff on there, but we combined it, make it one-stop shop.
Yeah, and there's also community pages. There's a forum on there. Things like that. So if you join the Patreon community, there's a separate private chat for everybody in there. So cool stuff. The more we get to learn about it, we're making it better.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
And find us on Twitter at GCandC. Sure. And thanks to Fred Thomas as always for the opening music, and Xee Reiter for the awesome logo.
Yep. Thanks everybody.
Peace.
All right, I'm here. We're about to go full spoilers. So everybody else, have a great week.
Welcome everybody, Comic Book Club.
Full spoilers.
First one of 2018. Getting into this amazing series. Book 1 of the 5-part series. We're covering 4 Kids Walk into a Bank.
Awesome.
Oh,
so
number 1.
Yeah, I
Yes,
think
sir.
we're just doing number 1. Corey, did
Oh,
you read
shit.
all of them?
Yeah.
Okay, Jeff and I think, read them.
I read them all because I thought we had to
it's
read
just
them all.
Nate. So
Alright.
we'll cover just one.
Dirk said
Um,
just number 1 several times.
yes.
That's
Really?
also what we told
Oh.
everybody to read before
Yeah,
this episode.
I did.
So.
Damn, I'm an overachiever. I read the whole thing. 'cause
I couldn't put it down. That's the
Sure.
thing. Yeah.
Well, I
I
only
had to
bought the
finish
first one, so I'm
Spent like 2 hours of my day off reading all this. So,
I assume that wasn't a waste.
No.
Well,
So-
keep me honest so that I know where to stop on number 1, because
So I'll say,
Yeah.
since this is a full spoilers conversation, it stops at her seeing her dad with the group of criminals.
okay, at
Like,
the
at
that's
first-
the diner.
Yeah, at first her dad like confronted them, stuck the gun in their face, said, "Get the hell out of here," but turns out to be
Yeah.
buddies with them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. Okay.
Yep. So I'll just say, Dirk, thanks for picking this one.
Yeah.
This was a surprise. I had never even heard of it, and really fun. Loved the. I'll just kick it off. The D&D stuff at the beginning.
Yeah.
It
Yep.
was so awesome.
They had me
Yeah.
already. Yep.
Yeah, that's great.
That was great.
The
Sticky crotch.
I am not
Crotch
like
the
Berger.
sticky.
Crotch the
That's
sticky.
sticky.
Son of Glenn the Moist.
Yeah.
oh, it's excellent. Those characters are just so likable right off the bat.
Oh yeah,
I
Paige
mean-
is awesome. Stretch is awesome.
And
Walter's
Berger
awesome.
totally reminded me of Jeff.
No, that was not how I was in a child. Not even close. That was the antithesis. I wanted to beat his ass. I wanted to beat his ass.
That was you.
No. I was pretty quiet as a kid.
All right.
I thought he was hilarious, though. That's a compliment, Jeff. That's a compliment. He was really funny.
I thought it was. I loved it. It grabbed me right away with the D&D stuff. I thought it was funny. It kind of reminded me of Lifers.
Yeah, I like
How it just.
the transition into the real world where
Yeah.
it was like all of a sudden the dragon was talking in third person, and then the
Yeah.
other characters like, "Wait, are you the dragon? No, I'm not the dragon. Well, it sounds like you're the dragon. Get off of me." Wait a
I
second.
wanted to.
Right. Yeah, it was just a cool, like, that's like, you know, me being somebody who got into D&D as an old ass man with a bunch of us who take ourselves way too seriously. Like, that's what I envision kids, 12-year-old kids playing D&D would be like,
Oh.
right? Just,
Yeah.
just a mess, you know, which is cool.
It was.
Like
Yeah.
Stranger Things. Yep.
It was.
No,
Uh,
and I liked it how that when Berger spilled that 2-liter
Tidal wave
bottle
came
of Coke,
through.
the tidal wave came
Yes.
through.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? And then
I know.
Yeah,
Oh my
definitely.
God. And they were arguing about who wanted to be the dragon, and they're like, nobody can be the dragon. But
Yeah.
I was kind of thrown off though. It's like all of a sudden it's like you're thrust into the story with those dudes just like rolling up, knocking on a door, like, oh, I'm just coming in here.
Yeah. Yep.
It's a great group.
Yep.
I love that group.
And yeah, their group is really great. It seems like Keystone Cop-esque criminals, right?
Yeah.
And then really funny that, you know, that the daughter, first of all, stands up to him.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
her joke to them is like, this ends one of two ways. It either ends with a news story about you guys beating up a bunch of little kids, or about us whooping your ass. Neither of those are good for you guys, right? Like, and they're
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, she's right. And then yet she gets punched in the nose by
Yeah.
them too. you
Yeah.
know?
And I
Right.
love the disclaimer they put in there, like, you know, under no circumstances should you punch a kid.
Right. Right.
It's a whole
Yeah.
panel.
Oh, the storytelling. The storytelling was phenomenal. I mean,
I love the
art-
paneling.
Yeah. the panels. Yeah.
The panels are great, especially when they're on the CB radio talking.
Yeah, gosh, that's
Yeah.
funny with that creepy old dude outside of the conversation.
That dude was my favorite.
Captain?
What was
Oh,
Captain what? What was it?
his name.
You know,
Yeah.
Captain. Something.
it's funny
God.
in the age of cell phones, kids will never know that. Like, we did that shit, right? Did
Yeah.
you guys? I
Oh, yeah.
mean, we had the uncle who had a
Ah.
radio in his basement, and you'd talk to truckers for a while, and then all of a sudden, the conversation goes sideways with them.
It's Dr. Glory Hole.
Dr. Glory Hole. That's right.
That was Cap.
Captain Glory Hole.
It's funny.
Yeah.
No, I never did that.
You
I
missed
did it.
out, dude.
Did ham radios? Oh, that was some crazy shit on ham radios.
Yeah.
I had CB in my truck.
Yeah.
Had a big old whip antenna.
Nice.
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
I
but
think-
go ahead, Dirk.
I think what got me on it was, well, when I read the summary, I was like, okay, I definitely want to check this out. And I wanted to check out something from Black Mask, who's the publisher. But when I started reading the quotes of all the writers that I love, all exclaiming about this series, that was it. I was like, I have to check this out because it had like Greg Rucka, BKV, Kieran Gillen, who's writing Star Wars now. They all attested to how great this book was, and I can
Nice.
see why. I mean, it's awesome. I
Cool.
can't recommend it enough.
And yeah, one-shot thing that you can go and pick up the whole graphic novel from your
Amazon.
local comic store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
It's easier on Amazon. It's good.
Yeah.
It's good. That was the
That's
best.
it.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's it.
next week?
So the
Just
next
Ritter.
CBBC
Marvel.
is weeks away. Yeah, what is it, Corey? That's your pick.
Marvel 2-in-1. The Thing and Human Torch.
And
It's just called 2-in-1.
And you said number 1 and 2. Is there only 2 issues to it?
Yeah.
Or?
Right now it's just 1, but 2 is going to be out before because it's like 3 weeks away. So
Right.
we read them both instead of covering the old one.
Good.
Cool.
Sweet.
All right. So yeah, everybody check that out. The Marvel 2-in-1.
Definitely.
Right?
It's awesome.
Guys, it's been great to be back.
It
Thank
has
you
been.
Absolutely.
very much for joining me this week. Everybody have a great week.
I'm complete. I feel complete now.
Later.
You complete me, Dirk.
What?
Things like they're cross-referencing each other's shit. That was
Yeah.
That was
Ooh,
cool.
what?
You gotta
What?
show up to the
Huh?
stream to learn
Yeah.
all this stuff, dude.
I was there.
I'm joking.
Mr. Spoiler alert. Alerter.
I was like, I popped in and it was in the middle of the cutscene right away.
Whoa, what's up?
Is that a coffee cup?
Yeah.
That's funny.
It goes with this. Fuck yeah.
Nice. Big pun.